All right, Marvin, I got something for you today specifically because you're always out here defending this motherfucker, Christopher Nolan, and you're
Mm.
saying how I'm uh outrageous for saying he's not overrated, but you know my thoughts. He's just the people a little too much with him. Tell me how the god Christopher Nolan is responsible for like the worst death scene in the history of cinema.
Work is done.
Look at that shit. My father's work is done. Like, what is that?
Yeah, this is one where the trilogy is ruined by the death of an actor because Heath Ledger not being around for the third one made them shoehorn in some pretty dumb stuff.
I didn't mind Bane. It's just
One of the reasons is one of the problems I had with it, actually.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand how that gets to like the cutting room floor. Even it must have like he couldn't have been there for that day because you know there's like second directors, third directors, and shit that go off and film like other stuff. This had to be an example of that where it got back to him like later on, and he was just like, "Fuck it, we're not reshooting. Just let it go." It's just like the most abrupt thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Ugh.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely a stain on Christopher Nolan's illustrious career, wouldn't you say, Marvin? Come on, you got to give me this.
That doesn't even matter.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's crazy.
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
Welcome back, Marvin. How you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Missed
I've
you
been
last week.
Ahoy.
Miss you guys too. Glad to be back.
You know, I was giving you some props because you said it before. I mentioned it to Dusty because we had missed 2 weeks. And I was just like, you had said it too at one point when we miss like a week or two. It feels like it's fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
So I was feeling that too. But
Yeah,
we're all
man.
back now.
Yep.
This is episode
Yes.
113, ladies and gentlemen. And today we're talking about Blink Twice, starring Channing Tatum. So that'll be a little bit later today. Don't forget to leave a comment on anything we're talking about. If you want to get involved in the conversation, leave a like on the video. It helps out a lot. And if you're not already, consider subscribing if you are enjoying yourself. What have you gentlemen been up to this last week? Anything good? Nothing at all big happened yesterday, I just want to say. Or today, rather. Have you been watching anything?
Been watching some stuff.
What's going on with you, Marvin? How's the move been? How's the house coming? You good? Everything settled or what?
Yeah, it's great. We got our couch in there. We got
I know you showed us.
TV set up. Everything's mostly set up now, to be honest.
How's the Walmart device working out?
Oh, it's great.
Flying?
That's a great device, yeah.
Good. Hopefully Santa's kind to me this year. Dusty?
You'll love that device for sure.
Dusty, how's your move? Have you settled in?
I mean, 90% settled. Still got some boxes to unpack and put away and little things to rearrange and, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, 80, 90% the way there, I guess you could say.
What have you guys been watching? I haven't really watched anything. I'm not caught up on Silo.
Oh, wow.
Yellowstone's finally over. If you guys watched it, I'm not caught up on that, but it seems like it kind of went out with a whimper.
The finale.
It's
I've
over.
not watched the finale.
Yeah, it's over.
Apparently, they're
Series
Oh.
finale.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not caught up on Yellowstone. I am caught up on Silo. That show's great.
Okay.
There might be a Beth and Rip spinoff series.
No, there is.
Oh,
they
hell no.
greenlit it. No, they agreed. They signed the deal, apparently.
No, I believe it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck about that at all.
No, I don't either.
I'm caught up on Shrinking, though.
Me
That's
too.
a fantastic show.
Bro, do you just cry in every episode like I do?
No, I just feel good. It
is a good feeling show.
Good. Just sitting there chilling. Great.
But I feel so good that I cry in every episode. Like,
I mean,
I'm not
I
caught
feel
up on
that.
that one.
I feel that. I've also been watching a lot of X-Files.
Good. Big
But
fan.
a lot of X-Files doesn't mean anything because that show never ends.
You think like you're 15 episodes deep on a season and you're like, holy fuck, there's 40 more?
I've watched 37 episodes. right? This is a lot. That's a lot of episodes.
That's like 3 seasons by today's standards.
The math comes out to, I'm looking at my track, by the way. Shout out track.
Shout
Sponsor us, baby.
Nice.
1 day, 11 hours, 26 minutes.
Mm.
And you know what? I only got 181 to go.
Yeah, that's nothing.
5 days, 14 hours, and 55 minutes.
That's like a straight watching. That's the calculation.
Yes, straight watching. Yes. Yeah.
That's
So,
hilarious.
but it's great. I really love X-Files.
Isn't it just the greatest?
Yeah, it's in this space where it's more of the they're not focusing on the aliens so much in this like this sprint that I'm in, but it's still really good.
Season 2?
Season 2, halfway through.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 16, I think.
Dusty, you've watched the whole series, right?
Yes.
I want you to do me a favor, Marvin, if you can. I don't know if you can go back and even recount, but like I want you to take note of some of your favorite episodes and what the titles are. I'm curious if yours align with like the general X-Files fandom, because there are some episodes that are like very, very popular.
Yeah. They tried to take Scully up out of there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That one was crazy.
Have you
that was a great multi-episode or whatever you call it.
You have to remind me, because not to spoil it, but
that was the one with
that
was the one with the guy that he was like a veteran and he got abducted, and they were trying to say that he wasn't abducted, he was just having like schizophrenic episodes, and he went and kidnapped Scully to replace him. And then she went into like a coma.
Okay.
And she almost died. Yeah.
Yep. Wait till you start. I mean, you're probably now noticing like the Monster of the Week episodes that I always brought up to you.
Kinda.
Those are the ones that like have nothing to do with like the overarching plot.
Yeah. I am noticing those.
Yeah. Those are always the best. And those are some of the most famous episodes. So I'm just curious. I want you to take note of those. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's a great show.
It's great.
I don't remember when he started, but I'm curious if you're going to notice the Vince Gilligan like influence. Because like I've mentioned before, there are aspects of Breaking Bad, specifically the Fly episode, where it's like, oh shit, that's straight up out of the X-Files. Or that would be an X-Files episode in another lifetime. But well, that's cool.
I also watched Cross. You might have heard of it. Alex Cross. It's,
I have not.
Yeah, it's on the watch.
He's a character from James Patterson books or something. My mom used to read those books a lot, but it was cool. Some of the dialogue was terrible in this Cross.
Really?
It was like kind of racist. I was like, I don't know if a black person wrote this or a white person thinking this is how black people talk.
All right. I love shit like that.
It was cringy as fuck, but the show overall was pretty good. It did this thing though where it had 2 plots. There's like the main plot and like a subplot, and then the main plot kind of ends and you're left with the subplot for the finale, and you don't really give a fuck about it. But it was all right.
Okay. Hey, real quick, Marvin, are you able to tilt your camera down a little bit so you rise up a tad?
I can sit up.
No, I mean, don't kill yourself. Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
as long as you're comfortable. What? You're not?
I'm not.
No, be comfortable. Yeah, no, that's cool.
I'm a gamer, bro. I can't be fucking.
I don't know how you fucking game just like with the gangster lean
Actually,
like
on
that.
the hunt
I can't.
for a chair right now.
Are you? What are you gonna get?
I'm just gonna get a little like half back chair that sit right here to record in.
Oh, you know what? Dr. Lupo, the streamer, he's been hawking some chair that he uses. Let me go find it because I was interested. It's like a or an ergo chair, but it's
not
not
so much interested in a computer style ergo office chair.
You're not interested in that?
No.
All right.
I gotta use the Leap.
Yeah.
Accent
Accent chair style, just something to sit in for a couple hours and record in.
Oh, don't you spend a lot of time behind your desk though for work, or not really?
Yeah, but I'll have an office chair for that. I'm talking about like recording.
Oh, you want a
chair.
different, more chill kind of.
Your recording space is separate from your workspace?
Yeah, it won't be. I mean, Yes, I'm not sitting in front of my desk right now.
Oh,
My
okay.
desk is
I
over
figured
there a
you.
little ways.
I figured
Ooh,
you.
I
on
need
Told
to
the
get
edge
it
of
set
it,
up
but-
like that. I might do that. I got
You want-
space now.
you want a separate setup?
Not a
Yeah,
separate.
just get a comfy chair where you can
Yeah.
set up your camera and your mic, and like it doesn't have to be at the desk.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one where you're standing up all the time now. You can sit down if you want to. Yeah.
I
We're gonna
enjoy
be doing
standing.
this.
Because I've been trying to. Well, Marvin, go ahead. What were you? Why would you want a separate work station, like for space?
Same reason, just a different type of chair
yeah, that's fair.
to kind of more lounge in and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been trying to spend more time standing, just because like I definitely gained a little bit of weight
Yeah.
over this last year especially since quitting smoking and stuff.
Yep.
So, but I just noticed, like, I just sit so fucking much between gaming and working and like editing videos or whatever I'm doing. It's like I just spend a lot of time sitting, and it's like I have the standing desk. Obviously, I bought it for that reason. It's just sometimes it's like it's hard to fucking stay consistent with it, and so I've just been trying to. So for the podcast, I like standing. I like it. I'm more engaged. My body language is I feel better than me just like slouching in my fucking chair the way I do. And
Yeah.
also, when I used to work at Geico and I was on the phones all the time fucking selling, like this is what I do. Like I'm up, I'm moving around. Like even when I
Yeah.
talk on the phone now, if I get a phone call like after this, I'm pacing around. Like that's just how I am. So I feel more comfortable standing when we do the podcast. But yeah, I feel you. I don't know. I love the Herman Miller chairs. They're like comfortable, but like not comfortable enough to where you could like really fuck off in them and like lose your sort of like body, which I
Yeah.
do anyway. But anyhow, there's a lot of good chairs out there. You don't got to break the bank.
And
for
there's
them.
some company out here that buys all the office furniture of the closed out fucking IT companies that didn't get their,
Oh yeah.
because of the Bay Area. So tons of furniture, like they'll sell those chairs, $150 or something like that. Get it fucking cheap.
You're in the Bay Area, huh?
Yeah.
Really vibrant punk scene.
Well, I'm
out
not
there.
in the Bay Area, but not too far from it, I
Right.
guess.
Relevant. The Bay Area has like a really historic punk scene, namely
Mhm.
Rancid came out of there, historic punk band. And I just shared this with you guys the other day, that this movie is coming out about it's an East Bay punk music drama called Out Come the Wolves, and it's inspired by the Rancid album of the same name. I don't have any idea what the movie's about, but it does have my interest because and Out Come the Wolves is arguably maybe the best punk album ever made. So it's like a perfect album straight through.
Damn.
And those are rare. So yeah.
Cool.
But yep. So anyhow, Yellowstone's done. Apparently, I didn't realize this was going to be the series finale. I guess they just were like, "Fuck it, like let's just wrap it up."
Good. Yeah.
Not caught up on Silo. Still watching Shrinking. Shrinking's incredible. I love it so much.
I'm behind on that.
Yeah. Anything else you guys have watched? I did watch, actually. I meant to tell you last week, Dusty, and I forgot. So Ed and I, we were watching Superman and Lois together and stuff, and then he had mentioned to me that he wanted to watch Reacher, but he doesn't have access to it. So I was like, oh, let's fucking watch Reacher. We like speed ran the first 2 seasons. And then like literally 2 days after we finished it was when they dropped the season 3 trailer. So it just happened to work out like super perfectly. But so
Nice.
I recently rewatched both seasons of Reacher. What a great show that is. It's so good.
It's great.
You still haven't watched it, right, Marvin?
I have not yet. No.
Mm.
Got quite a few things in front of Reacher. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a must watch, but if you just like, it's a good chill show where you don't gotta like think too much. Like people are gonna find out after they fuck around. Like that's mainly what it is. It's just him beating people up, bad people. So if you like that sort of thing, like that's it. But it's more substantive than what I'm making it out to be. It is a good show, I think.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Dusty?
I've actually been watching The West Wing. Like
Oh,
when
yeah?
I'm like unpacking boxes and stuff, I'm just moving around the house and I just want something on the TV. So I can take 5 minutes here and there to just watch
Right.
something.
I don't think I've ever watched that show, like ever.
I'm an Aaron Sorkin fan. He does some pretty good
Totally, yeah.
political drama TV. So yeah,
Okay. Nice.
that one, some of the stuff in that show is so relevant to what the going-ons of today.
Oh, I bet.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how shows that took place like way back when are like still politically relevant or socially relevant. Hate to see it, but it is what it is. So I had something I wanted to bring up, and I'm glad Marvin's here because this is mainly for Dusty, but Marvin's been around. So you know how Dusty likes to make fun of me or poke fun at me because I don't like period pieces, or I've said I don't like period pieces.
Oh yeah.
And he makes a good point. He's like, fucking everything is a period piece. Anything that takes place in a time period is
That's
a period
true.
piece, whether it's 2 years ago or whatever. So
That's right.
and I've always like, yeah, I know, I understand that, obviously. I just have really hard time putting my finger on like what specifically I don't like when I mention that. I just use period pieces like a blanket term because it's generally what they are. So I don't remember if you were here for it. I don't think so, but Dusty had mentioned, I think it was last week, he probably mentioned it, that movie, The Brutalist. It's coming out with Adrian Brody. Dusty mentioned it. It's 3.5 hours, Marvin. And it has a built-in intermission. It's so long. So we might watch it for the show. I don't know if we're gonna watch it, but it's gonna be work. But I said to Dusty, I was like, that right there is like,
Dan said he was never gonna watch it.
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the perfect example of a movie that I would fucking hate and I never want to see. Just period piece, something like a topic I just don't give a fuck about. I can't even remember off the top of my head what it's about. I don't care how good it is. That's the type of movie. So then I was talking to my buddy George the other day, and he mentioned how he really wanted to see The Brutalist. So I told him, I was like, Dusty and I were talking, and I explained that it's the perfect example of a movie I wouldn't want to watch, being a period piece and 3.5 hours long and all that. And I told him that you guys break my chops about it. So he actually put it in the most accurate terms possible. He's like, it's not period pieces that you don't like. He's like, because he said what I said, everything's a period piece. He said, what I actually don't like are prestige dramas for the most part. Now, the term prestige drama is like a pretty broad tapestry, but it's like mostly movies that are like pretty heavy in dialogue, but with like less plot. So he said that when Dan, watch a movie a lot of the time, I watch it like I'm trying to solve a puzzle. And it's very true. Because I noticed that about myself. Like, I'm always trying to figure out, like, whether there's a mystery involved or not. I'm just always thinking ahead of what I'm actually watching for some reason. And so I naturally gravitate to movies that are more plot heavy. Whereas he, for instance, thinks the less plot, the better. Like, if you put 3 dudes in a room and let them talk, he loves that type of shit. And so, like, prestige dramas have, like, this, a lot of people will say they're, like, artsy, but like, really, it's just more like emotional and like semi-ambiguous stuff. Like a movie like, I don't know. I don't even know what's a good example at this point. But George said to me, he's like, I'm more of what's called a passive viewer, which doesn't mean I'm not engaged in what I'm watching. It just means like I tend to like things that have like hooks throughout a movie to sort of pull me along. And then we started talking. This is how we got into the Batman stuff, where I thought of the Dark Knight Rises scene. But a movie like The Batman, the Matt Reeves one, is a perfect example of a movie that sort of bridges the gap between excessive dialogue but also like plot stuff. The Batman's like pretty plot heavy, but there's just a lot of like meandering and dialogue and stuff throughout it. And surprise, surprise, what have I said since that movie came out is that I find that movie mostly boring. So it takes a lot for me to like really be like hooked by a movie that's dialogue heavy. So yeah, there's a little bit more insight into my movie viewing. Yeah, it's not set in stone. And obviously like, there's things that are not within that, but I think that's a pretty good explanation.
Running thesis. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting. He just like dropped that shit on me, and I was like, that's fucking accurate. I didn't think of that.
Shout out.
So there you go. Shout out to George.
Shout out.
So, I mean, listen, I got to talk about it, and I know it's in your news, so we might as well just jump right into the news, and I'm going to kick it off. Woo, baby. An animated fucking poster for Superman dropped today.
Mm-hmm.
I lost body weight in tears. I'm telling you right now. Did it hit, Marvin? You looking fucking confused, upset. I don't know what's going on over there. Did you hate it? It's not a trailer. It's just like a post.
No, it's just a poster. No, I saw the other TikTok. I think you commented on. It was the black dude talking about.
Oh, I commented from our account. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I was like, damn, this guy's. He might be on to something.
Did you watch his video?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about a TikToker, Dusty, who I follow and Ed follows. Shout out to Ed. This guy, he's from New York. He is like prime time, like 40, 50 something year old, like comic book nerd. Like this guy, in a good way, not in a bad way. He knows his shit.
He knows his shit.
He's really, really knowledgeable when it comes to comic books, but he fucking hates James Gunn. And he several times has sort of like kind of railed on James Gunn, and like the TLDR of it all is that he thinks James Gunn is just not really a great writer. He thinks that he uses emotional moments that aren't earned, and that his comedy is he's too heavy-handed with the comedy and stuff like that. And he doesn't think James Gunn should touch a Superman movie with a 10-foot pole, though Guardians 3 did sort of make him come around a little bit on James Gunn, but still doesn't think Superman should be in the hands of James Gunn. He did make a couple of good points, but mostly I think this guy's nonsense. The reason I commented on it from our account is because on my personal account, I have interacted with him before, and he's one of those guys, I guess he gets so much like internet hate and like argumentative bullshit that like he took something I said as me just like being argumentative with him when I had a genuine question. I criticized one of his takes and he just got super defensive about it. So like I actually wanted an answer to the question that I asked him. What?
I'm just reading the Dan message in my head on social media. How could you think that's a good take? What are you, stupid?
No.
The guy didn't answer you.
It wasn't anything like that. It was legitimate. I was like, okay. I was respectful, and I was just like, I don't even remember what it was. It was just something, and he was just like really shot out of a cannon about it. He was like, you just don't like my opinion. And it was because he always says the blanket term, that's not my Superman. This is not my Superman. This is not my Superman. This is not my Superman. And I was like, bro, you keep saying this is not your Superman. What's your Superman? I was like, you don't even know what the James Gunn Superman's going to be.
That's true.
And he's never like actually saying that's not my Superman without even seeing it is absurd to me.
Yeah, that's not fair.
At least see it and then judge it. So I said something about that, and he just wasn't. He's like, you just don't like that. That's my opinion, and it's different from yours. I was like, that's not true at all. Like I just genuinely want to know. That is the biggest jug of water I've ever seen. That looks like fucking fucking pesticide like spray that a fucking dude would cover.
Gallon of water.
That shit is huge. Good God. Getting fucking hydrated over here. Yeah. So yeah, that's funny that you watched that. How'd you realize that I commented on it? Did he respond?
No. I think you had sent it to the page.
Oh, so I
saw it
messaged
as a message.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the little 4K clip, Marvin? I know it's nothing, but like, did it hit you in any way at all?
No, I am excited to see it, to see what he does with it, see if it lives up to all this tremendous hype.
There's a lot of hype, yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see.
Dusty, what were your thoughts on
it? Pretty cool animation. Just waiting for the trailer.
So you, as a Superman fan, I know Marvin, it might have a little bit less of an impact on him since he only watched the movie like less than a year ago, maybe at this point. But she's humming the fucking John Williams score.
Oh.
And now Ed and I will die on the hill of Superman should never appear on a screen without the John Williams theme. It's just ever. Like,
it's a strong argument.
It's like Star Wars. Imagine if a Star Wars movie came out and it didn't have the Star Wars theme, or Indiana Jones didn't have
the intro with the written text.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like that theme is so iconic and representative of the character that it transcends generations, and it should just be synonymous with Superman always. Now, that's not to say the Hans Zimmer score for The Man of Steel is, I hate that movie, but the score is not terrible. The score from Superman and Lois.
Zimmer.
I know, he's great. The score from Superman and Lois, I think, is great. but it's not the John Williams score. So having that in the back of my mind all these months since he announced that he's making the movie, I was like, is he going to bring back the John Williams score, or is he going to make it his own? Like, what's he going to do with it? I was really happy to hear it. And just, I don't know, that whole, even though it's just like an animated still, it just like, I don't know, it just screams Superman to me. Like, it feels like hopeful and compassionate and all that stuff that you would want from Superman.
Yeah, I don't know. Just remember all the other Superman movies that have come out since the original that
Yeah.
haven't been.
Ooh.
There haven't been any. There's Superman 3 and 4.
I mean, Brandon Ruth.
Yeah,
did
I forgot about that one.
Superman, and then Henry Cavill did.
Can you move your
Superman,
mic a
and
little
now
closer,
we've got-
Dusty? You're a little bit low. You're drifting off a little.
Now we've got
David
Corn
Corn Sweat.
Sweat trying it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not pessimistic about it. I'm definitely optimistic, but it doesn't get my juices flowing. I need a trailer. I need to see
Thursday,
Superman.
baby.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This episode's going to be out Tuesday, the 17th. So next time we talk, gentlemen, we will have seen...
December 19th.
Next time we talk, I will have watched the Superman trailer no less than 675 times.
Yeah, I believe that.
Right.
It is a little bit bittersweet for me because Superman and Lois just ended in a big bad way.
Yeah.
Tyler Hoechlin is like, really honestly, in my opinion, the best Superman we've ever had. And so...
That'll get you burned at the stake. I don't think you can say that.
You can't. No, you can't. You can't say that if like you. It's even hard for me to say it because Christopher Reeve is so iconic. He's so good as Superman. He lived a life that like is in the spirit of Superman, and so it's difficult. But that was fucking 40 years ago, longer than like it just had the anniversary. I forget what it was. Like the other day was the anniversary of the first movie. The movie's great. Those movies are great, iconic, and Christopher Reeve will always be the iconic Superman for sure because he was the first. But man, Tyler's fucking good. Dusty will tell you. You should watch that show, Marvin. I wonder if you would be into it. It's a good show. It's not just good for Superman fans, but I don't know if you really give a shit enough to watch it. I'd be curious if you liked it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like
pretty
you
good.
liked the movie
It's got some.
when we watched it.
I did.
So
I like Superman.
yeah. All the usual suspects are out in full force on Twitter. Wouldn't you know it?
Of course.
But they've revealed their true colors now. The colors that I've always known they had because they attributed the same sort of characteristics, but now they're just full blown, not even trying to hide it. This is gay Superman. He's fucking woke. This is fucking bullshit. You'll see. You go read on Twitter. They're calling Superman woke now. It's like, brother,
Oh, let's go.
Superman's been woke since 1938. I hate to break
We
it to
made
you. Yeah. I hate to break it to you, Chief.
Yeah.
But anyhow, let's get into the news. You could kick it off with that because I know it's one of your news pieces.
Yeah. Well, like you already hit the details. I don't know why they released a teaser for a teaser trailer. Just release a teaser for a trailer for the teaser
Yeah,
trailer.
well,
You don't need a
that's-
teaser for the teaser trailer.
That's the world we live in
You need
now.
that. All the hype.
Yeah, we also got some official release dates from WB on a couple other DC movies. Clayface is coming
Yeah.
out September 11th, 2026, and Dynamic Duo has been dated June 30th, 2028. So
Are you guys as excited as I am for the Clayface thing? Guess not.
I mean, Nolan.
I'm not that familiar with Clayface.
I mean, he's just a Batman villain. He is. So Marvin, Dusty and I have mentioned Batman the animated series to you numerous times. Like
Yeah.
one of the best things of Batman ever. There's a really iconic episode in that series starring Clayface, and it's got like little horror elements to it. And so, as a villain, he's like cool and different, but like in the hands of somebody like Mike Flanagan, who I think is like the savior of the horror genre these days, like specifically writing a horror adjacent Clayface movie, I think that's fucking cool and exciting. Particularly
that's
because
sick.
Yeah, particularly because I really like Mike Flanagan, obviously. But also, James Gunn recently, Dusty and I talked about it last week, has been on in interviews saying how, like, you might not have heard this, Marvin, but basically somebody asked James Gunn, like, what's your plan for the DCU? Like, are you going to do it like Marvel, where, like, each movie leads up to, like, a big bad thing at the end? And he was like, no, actually, we're not going to do it that way.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Thank
not.
God.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to greenlight any movie until I have a solid finished script in front of me that I really believe is worth making. Whereas Marvel,
There we go.
they say, hey, we want to make a Fantastic Four movie. Hand over the script, like, start writing them because this movie's coming out on this date.
Yeah.
So it's
Crazy.
a different approach. It worked for Marvel for a while. Now we see maybe it's not working as well, right?
Yeah.
So I just think it was a little refreshing to hear James Gunn being like, yeah, there's actually, like, it's a little lukewarm. I'm 50-50 on it because I don't want to see, like, it meander all over the place, but also I think it will be better to get just good quality movies that, like, hey, here's a Superman movie, here's a Supergirl movie, here's a Batman movie, that they don't all necessarily have to, like, connect and be the next beat in a story. Whereas, and again, we've talked about a lot, that's how Marvel was in the beginning. It was all within the same shared universe, but not necessarily this leads to this, and this leads to this, and this leads to this. So that was cool. And considering that James Gunn is putting an emphasis on quality over quantity, so he says, this kind of has me a little bit excited.
No, that is awesome. DC is back. This is like
I hope so.
This is like the decade of the underdog. Like
AMD's
shitting on Intel. DC's about to shit on Marvel. We're back, baby.
We're back.
Underdogs
It
rule.
could happen.
Will Android shit on Apple next? That's the next big
Oh,
one.
well, that's always been a thing. So.
What, shitting on Apple?
Yeah.
Maybe in opinion, but I don't know about in sales. I don't know.
Sales? No, because the fucking Apple sheep just go and buy the shit every fucking year. They're like zombies.
That is true. They're just
16.
Pray. That's funny. All right. Well, what else you got, Dusty? What else you working with today?
Well, speaking of things that get greenlit, but then maybe don't ever come out, well, they won't. They industry
What the fuck is
insider
this?
Alex Perez.
This is me looking at
Of-
shit.
Sorry. He's
The
fucking trying to
Cosmic
scare me. Over
Circus. Yeah. Alex Perez of the Cosmic Circus revealed some Blade information during a Discord Q&A.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
Okay.
Apparently, it's got more priority to push at the moment as opposed to Armor Wars. Right now, they're just looking to find a director to direct the project. It's going better than it was previously, so according to him, they're making it a priority. He also said the story has a modern time setting, but Lilith is still the main villain, and she isn't a one-and-done villain. This is one that was announced in 2019. It was supposed to come out November 7th of next year, 2025. But then in October, they removed it from the calendar entirely from the 2025 calendar. So nothing official from anybody except Feige confirming that the character will arrive in the MCU, even though he kind of already has in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Blade. Okay. Yeah. And technically as a voice at the end of Eternals or in the Stinger.
Correct. So
Real quick,
yeah.
Discord Q&A? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I mean these insiders, they have
Discord is making a push, I think, and has been, but more recently I've noticed to try to be like a Reddit / like Twitter alternative, I think.
Yeah, but what's the one where the Patreon, like some of these insiders have Patreon, some of them have Twitter subscriptions, some of them have Discord.
Well, remember,
deals.
Discord is like a really community focused place.
Yeah.
So it's no longer just like a voice chat fucking thing. It's like really
For
meant
gamers,
to like, it's really meant to be like a community space, which is why
China.
I set up our Discord that way, which you could find in the description down below.
Yeah.
If you wanted to join our Discord, we post our schedule for the month. If you want to watch along with us to keep up with what we're watching each week, you could share your favorite movies and TV shows and news and stuff like that. So that's really what Discord is. And then they also added the Patreon feature, which is like tiered subscriptions where you get certain benefits. So I don't know. Discord's like an all around pretty cool platform, and it's fucking free, which is like even crazier. I don't know how Discord makes money, really. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, now
There's no ads.
No, but now
right?
they definitely are taking like they definitely well they might make a lot of money with partnerships now at this point, but for the first bunch of years that they've been in existence, I can't imagine they made money really. I don't know what their model
I don't
was.
know, but they took over. It was crazy.
Yeah, so that's cool. Blade is coming. For those of you
Finally.
that weren't, while Dusty was talking, I had caught a link about In Memoriam this year, the actors that passed away. So I was scrolling through it, and I think it took Marvin by surprise, but because I had forgotten like all the celebrities that passed away this year.
Yeah.
And there was like a lot of big ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know who this is.
Oh, wow. This guy was young.
Yeah. There's a lot of big ones.
Oh, what?
So what
forgot
else?
about some of these, bro.
I know, me too.
Dang.
The King.
Well, we were talking about Christopher Nolan films.
Sure were, yeah.
Apparently, Guy Pearce has been blacklisted from working with Christopher Nolan.
I saw this, yeah.
I don't know, the last 20 years, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's weird.
He was doing an interview. Well, and it wasn't even Nolan. It was WB. He was talking about it. He said he spoke to me about roles a few of the times over the years. When he was talking about his relationship, because Memento, they worked together on that one in 2000. Then he did the first Batman and Prestige. But there was an executive at Warner Brothers who quite openly said to my agent, "I don't get Guy Pearce. I'm never going to get Guy Pearce. I'm never going to employ Guy Pearce." So in a way, that's good to know. I mean, fair enough. There are some actors I don't get, but anywho.
In real time, I just put Memento on my Make Marvin Watch ideas list.
Yeah, I was going to ask Marvin if he'd seen that one when we were talking about this.
Look at this list. Woo, fuck.
Yeah.
Got a lot of them.
So, but yeah, Nolan ended his tenure with WB after Tenet, and he did Oppenheimer with Universal.
Yep.
And then his next project was Universal. So maybe we'll get another Guy Pearce, Christopher Nolan movie, which
maybe.
I mean, Memento's great. So
Memento is a good one, yeah.
Thought that was interesting that he's never worked with him because an executive, an asshole at WB, was like, "No, I don't like Guy Pearce."
Don't worry. If
that's wild.
We'll know if Guy Pearce is going to be in a Christopher Nolan movie the second the idea enters Nolan's head, because it'll be all over Twitter.
He's probably had an idea floating around forever, but he's
breaking news. Christopher Nolan has thought about possibly having fucking, I don't know, insert any actor in his next film. Tom Holland.
It's important.
Breaking news. While taking a shit, Christopher Nolan has thought about possibly having Tom Holland in his next film. Fucking crazy.
People deserve to know.
People deserve to know.
That's right.
Yep. All right, what else, Dusty?
Well, Kraven, I think is officially bombed with an 11 million domestic opening. I think they're like 26 worldwide, which is not good.
I saw some commentary on it saying, like, the Double Toasted guys that I like on YouTube, they do the movie reviews.
Yeah.
So they said it's like, it's worse than you fucking think. Like, it is like literally 10 minutes in, like, people were like walking out of this movie.
Screen Rant ran an article. I saw the headline. It says, "It feels like a bad joke that they're playing on us. Like, it's so bad, it feels like a bad joke."
Now, here's the thing. It has a 14% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. But what's this 73% fan shit about? Like,
fans love it.
I don't know.
Everybody has their own opinion. My opinion at this point was it's a great movie.
Hey.
That's
Shout
crazy.
out to that guy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, it's funny too, because I was actually kind of like propping it up last time we recorded, because I was like, I was like, oh, this is J.C. Chandor. He's like a great director. I love his movies. I wonder if this is actually going to be good. And then like literally the next day, all the news came out that it was just bombing and it's terrible. So
Yeah.
I bet it's not as bad as people are saying it is.
Yeah.
I got a feeling.
I don't know.
I got a feeling.
You always get feelings, Marvin.
The
Sometimes you're right
crowd,
about them.
the crowd tells
The
you.
Last Dance wasn't terrible. So,
I still haven't seen it. I probably never will.
but yeah, this whole Kraven thing furthered rumors that Sony is done with the Spider-Verse films for now.
Yeah.
Of course, Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Beyond the Spider-Verse are the exceptions to that. They're going to continue to spend time and money on those things. According to Deadline, they actually have no plans. Sony has no plans to release Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse in 2025.
Okay.
They're taking a lot of tender and loving care with it in regards to finishing the Miles Morales story arc.
Well, that's good.
And there were rumors that it could be pushed all the way back to 2027. Some studio execs staunchly refuted those claims, which gives us a 2026 release window for the next Miles Morales movie.
Hey, another good. Go ahead, Marvin.
I was just gonna say that's one of the ones I could wait for.
I could wait for
Yeah.
them all. We need to get back to waiting for.
Back
The
to
other one
waiting.
comes out that year too, if
Yeah.
they both, because the Tom Holland Spider-Man is supposed to come out July 24, 2026. So we could get 2 Spider-Man movies in the same year, and then nothing from Sony for the next 3 to 5 years. Who knows?
Wow.
Like, what's the point of? I don't know. What's the point of like having like a hard date on a thing? I kind of understand it, but also I don't. Like, wouldn't you want it to
Well, it's
just?
project management. You're greenlighting a movie. You're funding that movie. That movie needs to get made within a timely fashion and under a certain budget. It's still a business.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the comic book movies, specifically the franchise films, they're definitely a little bit more hard nosed about it because, like, I guess it's like, hey, here's a big IP. We want to fucking get it out by this date. But I don't know. There's definitely way more to it than that. I think it's a little bit bizarre. Let's get back to waiting for stuff to be good rather than just like forcing it down everybody's throats, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, let some of us catch up on watching other shit for once,
Yeah.
guys.
Let some of us.
Some of us, me.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
We got Jeff Snyder, Industry Insider. He's been right sometimes and wrong sometimes. He's reporting that Ed Bernero has been tapped as the showrunner for MCU's Nova series.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally have a showrunner for that one. So we'll get another show to watch. He's, I think, cut his teeth on Third Watch, an old cop show.
Okay.
And then he did Criminal Minds and a spinoff. So he's
Now, if
pretty deep into the detective world or the cop world so this should be right up his alley, just fantasy.
Now, if this
More
show
fantasy.
doesn't open up with us watching Xandar get absolutely obliterated by Thanos, I don't want to fucking watch it. Because presumably
I don't
that's what this is going to be about. It has to be post that, right? Because Thanos had, because that's one of the few. I'm not going to say plot hole, but that's one of the few things we didn't see in Infinity War. They had the Power Stone from the first Guardians. Thanos would have had to take out fucking Xandar. We just never see it happen. I think we hear about it briefly, but
That'd be
interesting. I don't know. I'm looking for whatever. I'm down for all the shit. Just make it good. That's all I ask, please. Did you see? Speaking of, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, did you hear the Denzel news? Like I think we reported that he said he was going to be in the next Black Panther movie, and Ryan Coogler is directing.
Oh yeah.
Like he basically leaked that 1, the Black Panther movie has been greenlit, 2, that Ryan Coogler is behind it, and 3, that he's been cast as a character in it.
That's funny.
So I had to call Ryan and apologize. Sorry.
Hilarious.
So he's the next big Hollywood actor that's accidentally leaked Marvel shit.
Well,
So
I
congrats,
did.
Denzel.
I
Shout
did
out.
see that, and I also saw him in an interview, which was very funny. I should have pulled it up. I forgot about it until this very moment, but he's interviewing obviously for Gladiator. And the interviewer is like, "All right, I'd like to open it up with like a question that's going to throw off my guest," and he says to him, because the interviewer was wearing a Stanley Kubrick shirt, or I think he was wearing like a I don't know, Clockwork Orange or something. And he's like, "What's your favorite Kubrick movie?" And Denzel's just like, he's like, "I'm gonna be honest with you." He's like, "I'm not a film buff at all." He's like, "I probably never saw a Kubrick movie in the 70s." He's like, "In fact, I was the one outside the theater waiting to rob your ass coming out of a Kubrick movie." He was like, "I didn't get in." He's like, "I didn't get into movies until I was in my 20s, and I didn't start acting until I was in my 20s." He said the only movies that he watched when he was younger were like those like 1970s blaxploitation movies like Shaft and those types of movies. So I thought that was kind of funny.
The last piece of news I have is also gossip. Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz has split up after 3 years together.
Didn't even know they were together.
I didn't either. But you know, I was looking for segue news, and this was like the biggest one.
That's a decent one.
They got together at the start of this movie, and then they broke up at the end of the movie. They had been engaged for the last year. They called off the engagement, and the movie's out, and they're done. It was a wonderful, I guess, love movie making experience.
Yeah, they had a little filming fling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
Yep. Well, I'm sure they'll find love. Channing Tatum's hot, and so is she. So they'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for the news.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dusty, for the news once again. And another excellent segue. I don't know how you do it all the time. So let's get into today's review, and it is Blink Twice, which is Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut. I didn't know anything going into this movie. Honestly, didn't watch a trailer for it. I kind of wasn't interested in watching it when people were talking about it. I've been told by multiple people to watch it. I think you included, Marvin.
Yep.
But the little research I did do, it seems like people are kind of split on it a little bit. Some are calling it bold and a gripping thriller with like sort of shades of Get Out and Promising Young Woman. Other people say it doesn't quite land the punches that it's throwing. So let's unpack it all and see if this movie was worth our time. So Blink Twice is, I guess, billed as a psychological thriller. That's the phrase that I keep seeing when I read about it. It has a pretty star-studded cast. We got Channing Tatum starring as Slater alongside Naomi Ackie as Frida, who I'm not familiar with her at all. And then some other actors. We got Aaliyah Shawkat, Christian Slater, Simon Rex, Adria Arjona, Haley Joel Osment's in this. Kyle MacLachlan is in this. Gina Davis. So there's a pretty big cast.
Yeah.
And the movie follows a seemingly innocent getaway where our main character Frida and her friend Jess are invited by a tech billionaire, Slater, played by Channing Tatum, to his private island. And everything sort of spirals out of control with some mindfuckery and some chaos. And on paper, it's set up to be like, I guess, pretty edge of your seat if you were just to like read the synopsis of it. But does it deliver? Let's talk about it. First thoughts, Marvin. You take it away.
Well,
you watched this a while ago. Right?
I think I watched this maybe 2 months ago at this point.
And this was straight to Netflix, yes, or one of the streamers?
That I'm not sure of.
Or did it come out in theaters?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think it came out in theaters though, because I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it went straight to digital.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this. I thought it was great.
Yep.
Reminded me of some billionaires that we're all aware of in today's day and age. What am I hearing? Sorry, I got distracted.
You're good.
I thought this was great. I thought the cast was good. I kind of figured where it was going, but it didn't like make me less interested or anything. Like I was in it the whole way. I thought the action was good. Some of the scenes were a little rough, like, you know, when she wakes up, and we'll talk about some of the stuff later. But
real quick to cut you off, it was released by Amazon. It says here, since we were asking, but Amazon issued a trigger warning for the movie on Twitter for, quote, mature themes and depictions of violence, including sexual violence, which Variety noted was rare for a studio to do, but part of a growing trend in Hollywood beyond MPA ratings. The warning was also attached before theatrical screenings. So
I think that was just some PC stuff.
you think so?
Yeah, why they put the trigger warning on there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not a woman, and we'll get into the plot, but I didn't really find anything in this that crazy or triggering, if I'm being honest. I've seen way fucking worse than this when it comes to this sort of like stuff in a movie. But go ahead, Marvin, continue your thought.
Yeah. No, that's about it. I really enjoyed this. That's why I kind of recommended it right away after I watched it, and I'm glad we're covering it now.
Cool. Dusty, what did you think? Generally speaking,
I thought it was pretty good for a directorial debut. Actually, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a factor too.
Yeah, definitely.
We did a great job. I thought it was a little slow in spots. It could have, I don't know. It could have done a few things a little bit differently, but overall, I liked it. I watched it with Christina. She was anxious through the first half of it, and then kind of pleased there towards the end, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's kind of, and she, I don't know, she had some interesting things to say about it too. She's like, I wish they would have shown more of it would have felt more satisfying at the end if they'd have shown more of the struggles that the women were going through.
Yeah.
Than what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we got enough though.
With a thriller like this, it's important to set the stage, and like the first act, I think often will make or break the experience. And I didn't really, for me, overall, I thought the movie was okay. I think I'm a little bit more lukewarm on it than you guys, but that whole like first act of the movie, like before shit starts to hit the fan, it didn't really quite grab me the way I think it wanted to. It wasn't, I don't know. It was, I won't say it was predictable.
Yeah, it's like felt like Wedding Crashers for like the first half hour, 45 minutes until you're like, okay, now some weird stuff's going on.
Yeah, it wasn't,
That's funny.
It wasn't super like predictable, but it also didn't feel like very fresh either. And these kinds of movies, I feel like, are a dime a dozen. Things are normal until they aren't. Like that's like kind of the way the story is laid out for you.
Yeah.
But so really one of the biggest problems I think I had was the pacing. So the story, so basically what happens is we're introduced to the main character, Frida, and she's like a cocktail waitress. Like she works for like a catering company or something like that. And she's working for whatever event that this billionaire guy is at. We get like a brief introduction to her that she's like kind of like obsessed with like the celebrity lifestyle. She's looking him up, and he has been in the news for some mysterious thing that he did at a party. We don't know what it is, but we guess that it's just inappropriate because he's been publicly apologizing and going to therapy and restoring his public image. And then we also get like one little hint that she worked a party the year prior for the same event and kind of like misbehaved a little bit. And her boss is like, don't be so fucking chatty this time, or whatever the fuck.
Right. Yep.
And then she bumps into him at this party. They hit it off, and he invites her to his private island with all his rich friends and some other girls.
Yeah.
And
you don't think it was like a clever way of like, because then I'm thinking back through it, like obviously you don't see that stuff on the first like watch, but when you think back about it, like it's like kind of I feel like it's a good setup because she's falling for all the same traps, and it's just leading you to show like
totally
how the drug works and all that.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely, I think, the hook there, like by that's like the aha moment at the end of like, oh fuck, like here's what's going on.
Been here before.
Yeah, but I think just that whole, I don't know, that whole first half like really dragged for me. I thought it was like, I don't know, it's like it's showing them like partying, and it's like pretty innocent, and like nothing really seems off, but like they want you to think things are off, like with the creepy old lady, like cleaning lady, like it felt out of place and weird. And even by the end of the movie, I didn't even really understand her point to be there, other than to be like, hey, you're familiar, like, you know what I mean?
Pretty
So
much, yeah.
there was just like little elements of like weirdness, but that they weren't really that weird the way I think Zoe Kravitz and her writing partner for this wanted it to be. And then by the time shit starts to actually pop off, then everything felt kind of rushed because I was just like, oh, okay, well, here we are. And then boom, it's like everything happens and the movie's over. And I was just like, well, that like the lead up to the thing was way longer than the actual thing itself, as how it felt to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see how else it could have been, though. I mean,
well,
they gave you breadcrumbs like where they're running away in terror, and then they like, oh God, why are we running? And we're just back to part. It's like, so they gave us little stuff to like before the snap, like the full like actual snap. But how much can they give you before it's like?
Yeah, well, I think the goal was to obviously build tension.
Yeah.
Up until the breaking point. I just didn't feel the tension really. Me, just a person that like, I wasn't ever really like tense or on the edge of my seat or like any of that. And when they get to like the twists, and there's not just one twist, there's like several of them, I thought they kind of didn't feel earned, if that makes any sense. So the twist in question is we find out that Channing Tatum, Slater, and his rich friends basically just invite women back to this fucking island, and they have a drug that they put in perfume that makes the women forget everything that had happened the night before. And of course, what do rich, crazy men do? Well, they sexually torture these women.
Well, not just women, but it makes anybody who
makes anybody, but I'm saying they're targeting women.
Okay.
And so that's twist number one. And there's some snake that's native to the island that we see the workers like constantly fucking killing. And conveniently, the snake venom is the antidote, I guess, to the memory wiping drug. So one of the characters, Jess, gets bitten by a snake at one point, and she starts to remember like what the fuck is going on. She goes missing. And then our main character ends up taking a swig of snake venom for some fucking bizarre reason. And then she remembers, and slowly but surely, all the women start to remember what happened to them by these guys. And the plot takes a turn, and the women kind of start just fucking murdering these dudes at this place. And that's kind of like the whole, like, I guess, climax of everything. And I will say, that was the most effective part of the movie for me, I thought. Again, for me, while there wasn't really any tension for me, the moment when the moment when Frida realizes that Jess is missing, I had also at that very moment asked in my head, where's Jess?
Where's her friend? Yeah.
No, I literally said in my head, I was like, where's Jess? And then she 2 seconds later was like, where's Jess? And I was like, oh, that's fucking pretty effective. That like, obviously they were doing something effective since me and the main character asked the question at that very moment. So that was cool and effective. I did enjoy that. You were going to say something, Dusty?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had something to say. Marvin?
I was gonna say, I feel like when I think it's easy to find a bunch of these flaws, maybe when you put it under a microscope in this sort of way. When I think back through this movie, and it has been a while, but I think I
you didn't rewatch it?
I didn't rewatch it, but I didn't feel like I need, because I enjoyed it a lot, so I remember pretty much everything that happened.
Yeah.
When I think back through it, I felt like it was a lot of tension there.
Really?
I think so, yeah. I mean, just even what you said with her friend being missing, like her freaking out and no one else is like even remembering her friend. I'm like,
yeah,
that made me feel like anxious. I guess everyone's different, but that made me feel pretty anxious. Just the situation in itself. I mean, I guess you could say like, oh, I wouldn't put myself in that situation, going to an island with a stranger or whatever, but
it's alluring for sure. It's not really that. Dusty, did you feel the tension that you were supposed to feel in like that whole first half where they're like setting everything up?
No, not really. Like I said, it felt like Wedding Crashers or something like that. Like, we're here, we're partying. There's no weird behavior or anything. That's just because
that's
you're
what
not
it
meant
was.
to know. You're not meant to know that the weird behavior is already going on. You're under the trance like they are, basically.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's actually a really great way to say it. You are also under a trance the way they are. We just don't know, like,
Yeah,
because
we're not shown anything.
yeah, exactly. There's like little breadcrumbs. Like they kept mentioning that like the lighter was a reoccurring theme. Forgetting was a reoccurring theme in this whole
Yes.
like first half. And of course, like as a viewer, you're like, all right, where are they going with this? Okay, then like, you know, like I said, the weird old lady, the smiling fucking estate people, like who were the workers, like that kind of stuff that was supposed to be like, that felt like a stand-in for creepiness when it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Because there was nothing
Like the
else.
doctor being surprised that she remembered him.
Yes, the doctor being surprised. That's a moment where you're
Yeah.
like, this is a weird interaction.
Weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
And it's mostly like weird stuff. Gina Davis's character, she's got like this whole like fucking Stepford wife thing going on where she's like,
Yeah.
everything's okay. So that was a little bit weird. So there was like weird things, but none of them were like really jumping out at me. And again, like I said, I wouldn't call this movie predictable because I didn't know where it was really going, but I didn't have any like fear of where it was going either. Obviously, I figured some crazy shit was going to happen. The only thing I read about this movie briefly was a review, like a short one on IMDb or something that said, this takes Eat the Rich to a whole new level. So I thought it was going to be some sort of like pre-planned thing from her part that like, oh, she's like actually hunting rich fucks. Like she's getting in bed with them to fucking. So I knew some sort of thing was going to pop off, obviously, but I didn't know quite in what way. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the little points of tension weren't really there until that where's Jess moment when you're like, oh shit. Because up until that, you get like little bits and you get, oh, you have a black eye. How'd that happen? Oh, how'd you lose your finger? Like it was just like little brief playful things, which were effective when I guess you find out how they happened. It was just, they didn't serve as like, I feel like what they were meant to, which is to make me feel like uneasy about when something's going to fucking happen. That was my whole thing.
That's interesting. Yeah. For me, like from when they got there, I was getting vibes of it being like like they were showing the partying and stuff, but
yeah,
it was for some reason this feeling of like, oh, they can't leave even if they wanted to leave.
You
like,
get that
even
idea,
very
yeah.
early on, like it was like all happy and stuff, but
Pretty
it felt
obvious,
like this
yeah.
is like a prison. Like,
yep. That's why I said like I wouldn't say it's predictable where I knew exactly what was going to happen, but obviously this isn't going to be all like happy. Just the way like their clothes were laid out and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
When she choked on the fucking raspberry, I don't really even still now know what that was meant to be, or if she was just like choking randomly.
Right.
But that's when I thought they were actually being poisoned or somehow.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. Like I was misled. I thought it was through that, not the perfume.
The perfume. Yeah.
So I don't know if that was meant
I
to
took
do
that as her just being manipulative, trying to get his attention because he was giving it to.
That's
the other
ultimately
girl.
what it was. She was trying to like get his attention, but it led me to be like, oh, she is like, there's something up with that. Like they're being poisoned or some shit. And so it like accidentally led me to what was actually going on,
Right.
but in the wrong way. Let's talk about the performances because that's like really the strength of this movie for me. I thought the performances were really great. Thrillers live or die on their performances because you need to believe that these characters are going through these things. Frida, who was played by Naomi Ackie, she was fucking great. She played a wide range of emotions, I thought. Like she was tough when she had to be. She was like scared shitless when she had to be.
Yep.
Rightfully so. She did give off the manipulative vibe really well, which is why there were parts where I was like, oh, she's fucking the bad person here. Like that's going to be the twist. Like she's like a fucking hunter of rich people.
Right.
And so I thought she was great. Really, everybody was. But Channing Tatum, does he play a good fucking villain or what? Like,
Oof, man.
He's like,
Yeah, he played a good creep.
if there was any tension in the movie, it was that, because it was his performance, that is, because obviously something bad is going to happen and you're thinking, but he is like very he's nice, but like he plays it so well that's like you realize like he's fake nice. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's the eyes.
And it's society's, I think, preconceived notions, or at least maybe mine, to like hate billionaires because fuck billionaires and CEOs. But like, you're thinking and you're just like, he's fake nice. Like something's gonna happen. And so if there was any tension in my head, it was from him, and waiting for him to fucking snap.
For sure, yeah.
So those two like really standouts for me.
I agree.
Now that said, since we're on the topic of characters, their performances were great, but I do think the characters were a little underdeveloped, both of them. The other side characters don't really need that much because they're obviously just like rich people being weird, and the others were just like NPCs to get killed. But Frida and Slater, the two main characters, I felt were a little underdeveloped. Maybe more wasn't needed, but I would have liked, and I guess, Dusty, you said this about your lady too. I don't know if she meant the same thing, but I would have liked to see more about him other than just being like a crazy rich white guy. And I would have liked to see more of her than just being like, wow, I was so easily manipulated because like I'm a worker, like I'm a working class person and this is the life I want, like type of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Hers was very like shallow, but we got a little bit more. I mean, he obviously had trauma as a child. That's why he always talked about how it's better to forget. Like, remember when it was after the big fight and they came back in, and there was like a whole scene about him kind of like referencing his childhood trauma and why he even came up with the drug in the first place.
When did that happen? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that was after the big fight, like after everyone woke up and...
Oh, and he's giving his like exposition to her. Yeah. Okay, I do remember that now. What actually threw me off in that part was when he when he vapes the fucking snake venom, he forgets what happened too, or he wakes up from. So it
wasn't the venom; it was his like perfume concoction.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought it was
supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
He was like forgetting in real time because she poisoned him.
When he hit the vape at that moment, I was like, oh, she put the poison in it, the venom in it, so that he's going to fucking choke to death now. He's going to have like a reaction to it. So I guess it was just in my head that it was the venom. And so then when he did start to forget what was going on, I was like, oh, that's weird. But you're right. It was the perfume. Yeah. So he just forgot in the moment what was happening.
Yeah. And that's why at the end, she gives him the friggin' vape juice again.
Which is actually a really, I mean, okay. So we get this whole fucking fight breaks out. All the guys get fucking murdered. He forgets, and she realizes that it could affect him too. And the end of the movie, the final twist is that she's at like a fundraiser with him. Turns out that they got married. She took over as the CEO of his company, and she's just giving him this shit to make him forget like what happened.
Yep.
And so she finally kind of got the life that she wanted, but it also seems she's using his wealth to like, I guess, make things better for people.
Yeah, I forgot exactly what she was doing, but I did get that vibe.
Well, she got the fucking therapist arrested.
Yeah. That's right.
Or at least kicked out. So I thought the ending was kind of fun. That was like cool. Yeah. That was like a cool little twist. But yeah, I thought they were a little bit underdeveloped.
Yeah, I agree.
What else? I thought so Dusty, you mentioned the cinematography a bit, and I was a little 50-50 on it. I've used this phrase before or this description before, but this felt like one of those like TikTok movies. The way it was edited, very fast-paced editing.
Some of the cuts.
A lot of smash cuts galore.
Oh yeah, like when she's hitting the rock.
Yeah, I don't know if it really did it for me. It was an interesting, like I don't mind like the way that they introduced, like, because it's obviously trying to convey that like her memories are coming back to her in such a fucking traumatic way.
Oh yeah,
and it did that.
That was the best one of the best parts for me. Not anything with cinematography. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
too.
you're fine.
Just the whole moment where it was like the boiling point where Frida and the other like athletic chick or whatever, I forgot her name. They both were already like
Sarah.
awake. Sarah. They both were like awake and aware of what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the other girls were like about to wake up and they're like, oh man, these two are gonna go crazy. Like she already knew like they weren't gonna be able to control themselves or anything. I thought that was like one of the best like parts of like the whole movie for me.
Yeah, no, that was
the way it like unfolded was so good.
Yeah, there was some really effective things there. I liked the way their memories came back, and visually we're seeing it with those smash cuts. They were just a little bit like, I hate when movies are like edited like that, and it seems to be like a new thing. Like it feels like a fucking Mr. Beast video rather than like an actual movie. But this reminded me a lot of what's that fucking shitty movie, Dusty, that we fucking shit on all the time that we had to endure? Saltburn.
Oh yeah, yes. This had some Saltburn vibes.
It had some Saltburn vibes to it. It's just I feel like it's a movie. It also reminded me of the horror movie we all watched together. The with the hand. The fucking what was that?
It Follows.
No, please do not compare those two. Yeah, The Hand, where they go under and she sees the dead people. What the fuck was that movie?
Watching Me or something. What was it?
No,
something Watch Me. It was something like that.
I don't remember. But it felt kind of like that in the way it was edited. So I don't know. Really kind of just not for me, but it didn't really ruin anything. It was just a little too chaotic. I didn't mind like the mysterious island setting, but like I said earlier, there was just like all the tension was like wrapped up in like this weirdness and ambiguity for like no real reasons. Like this old lady muttering fucking nonsense. Like I get that it came back around later on, but like, I don't know, didn't really quite land for me. But overall, I thought the cinematography was pretty good. I liked a lot of the shots and stuff like that. They were really good. And, yeah. So, the sound design was great. The score, that was awesome. Effective the way they used it. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I would really watch this again. Like it was okay. I didn't find it all that like thrilling and stuff. And I said earlier, again, not to take away from anybody's lived experience, because I'm not a woman and I don't know what it's like to be under the constant threat of fucking harassment and assault and all this stuff. But I feel like this movie was pretty tame, to be honest, in terms of like what they showed.
Yeah.
Like I guess if you've been in a situation where you've been,
well, because all they showed were like 1 or 2 second quick clips of like, oh my gosh, I'm realizing this happened. And then that's one I think thing that Christina was frustrated about. She's like, you can't really relate to it when you don't know what happened. You're just supposed to to use your imagination, I guess. But
I mean, you gotta
get their revenge. It doesn't feel as I don't know, justly.
It's broad strokes that they use, right? It's like they're painting with this like brush where it's like all of assault falls under that category.
And you're like, good for you girls. You got the guys, even though we don't really know what all the guys did. Even though you find out like Lucas, he was being taken advantage of too. It was what it seemed like to me.
The young kid like didn't do anything. Apparently he was like the nice one.
Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's kid.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, Levon Hawke.
Oh, so he's Maya Hawke's brother. Okay. I didn't recognize like there wasn't. Christian Slater was really good in this too. I love Christian Slater. He's always good when he pops up and stuff. So I don't know. That's really pretty much all I got to say about it. I don't think. I think it was like
the
rather
creepy
tame.
recorder of records.
Yeah,
it's tame in the sense of what was shown, maybe, but
if
the
you're
subject matter, like
totally, if
you think about someone that's being like assaulted, God knows how many times over the course of however long, and then it happened how many years? Like it's all like it builds up to that, right? Like,
I just feel like, I guess. No, you're 100% right.
She was there the year before. It's like you got to think
Yeah,
Like
that's
it
true.
does. It's not just what we're shown. It's like if you think about and put yourself in like
Totally.
really think about like what the fuck happened to the chick. It's like this is
Yeah, no,
the
that's
worst
fair.
thing ever. You know? Like,
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely correct. So yeah, I guess, did you guys have anything else any points you wanted to make about it, or did we mostly cover everything?
Nah, I think we covered it.
We got it most, yeah. Could have changed a couple things, but other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the twist was like, I mean, I said there was like several twists. Like the first one is like, oh, here's what's actually happening. The second twist was like, for me, like, oh, Gina Davis is like, she knows what's going on and she's like willingly going along with it, which they didn't even really explore. It was like a 2-second thing.
Oh, when she started remembering, she's like, I don't want to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's like the other twist, as far as I see it, which was like sort of the women fighting back in the way that they did anyway.
Yeah.
And then the final
some of
twist,
that was a little,
which is that she takes over the company and like he's fucking her fucking dummy slave, basically.
Yeah.
At the end. So, at least I could say that none of it was predictable. I didn't see any of that coming. As you guys know, I'm usually like pretty quick with it to like be like, yeah, I see where this is going. But yeah, do you guys prefer a thriller or a movie where you see the twist coming and like enjoy the ride anyway, or do you like, would you prefer that it like completely like blows your mind and like gets you off your game a little bit?
I honestly
does it. I like both.
Yeah, I don't have a preference as long as it's done right.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I think this was done right. It felt good to me.
Cool. Let us know in the comments. Do you prefer a thriller that kind of catches you off guard, or do you like to figure it out first and kind of see how it gets to that point? I think I'm like with you guys. I kind of like both, but I do lean towards wanting to be like completely fucking caught off guard, which is I think why I am let down a lot of the times when we talk about movies and I'm like, yeah, I figured this shit out right away. It was fuck. So that's a me problem. But yeah, so where does Blink Twice land overall? Like I said, it did some cool stuff. Nothing really groundbreaking. Never really felt the tension or dread that I think I was supposed to be honest. And too, we talked about the cast real quick. I meant to say I didn't really care about anybody. That was, I think, another big problem for me. I think it was because of the lack of like real character development and stuff. It was cool to see them get vengeance in like caveman vigilante type of way, but I didn't really care like when that chick got shot in the head or whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't like,
yeah,
oh man, like she was a good one. Like I didn't really have any emotional connection to any of them. So yeah, I guess that's it.
No. Just a little bit of relief to see the girls get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
Or I guess the guys.
The guys got their comeuppance, yeah. But yeah, so some mixed reviews, but it's got a pretty decent rating. It's kind of like in the middle of the road. It's got a 6.5 on IMDb. What would you guys rate it, Marvin?
I'd bump it up a little bit. It's probably it's like a solid 8 for me.
Oh wow, okay.
I thought there was things they could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the premise was really good though.
Okay.
And the cast was great. So
cool.
Yeah.
Glad you liked it. Dusty?
I give it a little bump to a 7, but that's about as far as I'll go. It's a great job for Zoe's first movie though.
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely a good directorial debut. I gotta drop it just a little bit. I gotta go to 6, fortunately. Ooh. But doesn't mean it's bad. That's like Marvin has called. That's mid. It was just I kind of felt it was just like it was all right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a psychological thriller that like you don't have to pay too much attention to, I think this movie kind of delivers just enough to kind of it's a fun like weekend watch, I think, But yeah, I don't think it's something I'll like watch again, really, to be honest. But I didn't hate it.
I could watch this again.
You think so?
Yeah.
Did C watch it with you the first time?
Yep. We watched
like
it
it
together. Yes, she did.
Nice.
She thought it was great. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, there's just like I just feel like it's part of that new like wave of movies. Not new, it's people have been doing it. Everybody's trying to like recapture what Get Out did. And it's like
there's definitely a lot of that.
Get Out was I don't want to say lightning in a bottle, like it can't be repeated, but it was just like a very good movie. So
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to.
Well,
It was different.
I
I mean, it was
think-
different though. It was a different, like,
Yeah, totally.
different situation,
Zoe said
different
this
power
was
dynamic.
supposed. Yeah, Zoe said this was supposed to be called Pussy Island or something like that.
Okay.
Um,
A little too close to
she said
Epstein.
blink twice came from something else like, hey, if you're in trouble and you need me to save you, like the friends at a party, blink twice.
Blink twice.
I think the name is great. The cover art is fantastic. Yeah.
No,
That-
yeah, it's
that-
cool.
That all works. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's cool for sure. But that's going to wrap it up for folks. We want to hear from you. Have you seen Blink Twice yet? Did the twists catch you off guard? Did you see them coming a mile away? Let us know. Most importantly, let us know what your favorite psychological thriller is. I'd be curious to know because we've watched quite a few of them. Most recently, I think probably the most recent one we did was we made Marvin watch the psychological thriller, Jacob's Ladder.
Mhm.
Now, that's what I think of when I think of a psychological thriller. So, not that I want that to be repeated. That's a very different style, but that's my favorite. So let us know in the comments what your favorite psychological thriller is. Do you have a favorite, Marvin?
Psychological thriller
Like off the top of your head where it's like kind of, what's going on here?
is Rosemary's Baby. Does that count?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
That would probably be my favorite.
it's a good choice. Dusty, you got one?
I don't know. I'd say The Thing or Alien.
Oh, The Thing, actually. That's a fucking good one.
The Thing is a great one. Too bad people will
Ooh.
never get to see that episode.
Hey, we'll do it again. We could go back.
Yeah.
You keep rubbing it in my face,
You-
Marvin. Damn, Dusty just put me in a crisis. Is Jacob's Ladder my favorite psychological thriller over?
The Thing's a good
I
one.
100% The Thing is over. I mean, and they're both great,
I
but they're
think
very different though. Also.
I think there is psychological elements to The Thing for sure. However, I think that movie leans more towards sci-fi horror than psychological thriller. So I'm going to stick with Jacob's Ladder purely on the psychological aspect of it. You don't get more psychological than Jacob's Ladder. Like, let's be fair. So, but yeah, folks, let us know your favorite. Leave a comment down below on anything that we talked about today. If you have any input, leave a like on the video. It helps us out tremendously. And if you have not done so and you like the content, consider subscribing. You can join our Discord. It's down below. All of our links are in our website, harshlanguage.tv. We do this every week, most of the time. So stick around. This month, actually, I decided on what we were watching, Marvin. I don't know if you guys took a look at the schedule, but
Oh, not yet.
we're making Marvin watch. It's my pick. One of my favorite movies of all time. My second favorite movie of all time, to be exact, to Halloween, When Harry Met Sally.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Finally, I can watch this.
The complete opposite end of the spectrum from Halloween, but nonetheless, one of my favorite movies of all time. So that'll be coming later in the month. So we hope to see you back again, folks. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one.
See ya.
Asta.